Good morning, Aquarius. Good morning, Aquarius. Welcome to Tarot with Kat, and welcome if this is your first time. Welcome back if you're back again, and thank you so much. This is a reading for Aquarius for the week of September 17th through the 24th. It's Wednesday morning, September 17th. September's been a really interesting month for everyone, especially right now, especially September 2025. This month in particular has a lot of big things astrologically going on. Two eclipses, a lot of planets that are just in retrograde and opening up energetic pathways and portals for major changes for a lot of people this month. And I thought it was a really fortuitous month to start my YouTube channel. I've been doing tarot for decades, but this is my first month with taking it on to YouTube. I hope you enjoyed. If you do, please hit the like button and the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. So I am not an astrologist, but I do need to be familiar with what's happening astrologically, since the tarot involves a lot of astrology, numerology, Kabbalah, and the tarot are all meant to be understood together. They're all interconnected, interrelated. And so right now for you, Aquarius, you are still feeling the aftershocks from that September 7th eclipse that we had, that lunar eclipse that we had. And that lit up your second house of income and personal resources during the eclipse. So this week, there's going to be a lot of, I think, financial themes remaining front and center for you. Budgeting, big purchases, or rethinking how you earn and how you save right now, astrologically speaking. So I'm really curious to see what the tarot says for you this week, Aquarius. So let's get our reading started. This is the reading for Aquarius for the week of September 17th through the 24th. I am using the Centennial Smith Weight deck, which is the traditional Rider-Waite illustrations, only they've included Smith, the artist, her name in the title, which I love. There's our card representing you right now, Aquarius. I'll put more information about the decks I use down in the comments and the links. And also at the end of this video, I'm going to link a really short video at the end about a brief explanation of tarot and my understanding of tarot. And I do talk a little bit about the artist of this deck, which is really fascinating. So do be sure to check that video out if you get a chance. So Aquarius, you are being represented this week by a Page of Cups. Your challenge, what crosses you right now as a challenge, an obstacle, or sometimes I like to think of it as an awareness that you need to have this week. Something in your awareness is this Eight of Pentacles right here. Then down here in your subconscious tool chest, we've got a Queen of Swords. Coming out of your immediate past this week, we have a Three of Wands. Crowning you in your ideal above you, a Seven of Swords. In your immediate future this week, stepping into your immediate future, you're going to be stepping into a Six of Swords situation. In your environment, you're going to be feeling like the Hierophant. You're going to be feeling the Hierophant in your environment this week. Your environment itself is going to be giving you some justice. Here in your hopes and fears spot is a Queen of Pentacles. More Pentacles. We got a good balance, though, of Cups, Pentacles, Wands, and Swords here. Real balance going on. And then the final outcome this week, for the week for you, Aquarius, is going to be a Five of Cups. Okay, before we get deeper into this reading, I do like to pull another card here from this deck, and I've got my little universe in a pyramid, which I love, gift from my son. I like to shuffle up this deck, which is a holographic Rider-Waite deck, but holographic. I've been doing some studying lately about holographic theory and quantum theory, and it reminded me of the story of I always get the name. It's like Ananna's net, the great fisherman of the universe who lifts the net out of the water, and at every intersection of the lines of the net is a bead of water, and each of us is one of those beads of water, and yet each bead is reflecting every other bead around it. And it's kind of a neat picture of how we're all interconnected and related, and also how holograms work. So we're going to pull one card there as a clarification card for the end. We're going to keep that hidden until the end of the reading, and it will give us a little confirmation of what we've been saying, or maybe further clarification of this reading here. So we'll take a look at that in the end. If at any time this is ringing true to you and you think you might know what this card might be, or what it could be about, go ahead and put your thoughts and your guess down in the comment section below. I'd love to read that, and I do my very best to write back to everyone. So I'll definitely be getting back to you on that. All right, so let's get into this reading, Aquarius. This week, you're feeling this. You are this Page of Cups. So a Page of Cups represents pages are always children or young people, or people with a young spirit, youthful spirit. And the Page of Cups in particular has this this feeling of fancifulness and kind of lighthearted. Cups have to do with emotion and feelings, and the page is bringing up new possibilities and ideas, and he's full of like kind of wonderment, and I think maybe you're feeling like sort of a youthful excitement about the wonderful feelings and things that the universe is offering you right now, Aquarius, with this Page of Cups you have going on with you. It can be a silly card, maybe you're, yeah. And your cross, the thing that's coming up as crossing you as either an obstacle or an awareness or a challenge, is this Eight of Pentacles card right here. So eights are a card of strength, and this is a card of industry, of practicing your craft or your profession, and really getting it going and getting it rolling, and starting to produce and starting to see the fruits of your labor. And so that's challenging you this week, Aquarius, is doing that, continuing that work, so that you can see, like I said, again, financial themes. You're feeling really whimsical, but you got thrown into this situation with the lunar eclipse on the 7th, where you're going to have this focus. That's going to be your center focus, is these finances and keeping this going and keeping this flowing. So that's your challenge this week, Aquarius. Down here in what I call your subconscious tool shed, these are things that you've experienced, things in your life that have become a part of you, a part of who you are, what you bring to the table all the time. And one of the things anyway, not fully who you are, but this is a part of who you are. And that is coming up for you, Aquarius, as a Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords sits on her throne, and she's very in control and in command, and she looks after everyone around her. She's very caring and in control, but less emotional and more communicative and reason oriented. She's in charge of her words, chooses her words wisely, and she has sound and solid reasoning, and she's in control of her thoughts and how she expresses them. And so you have that Queen of Swords energy behind you, being a good communicator, Aquarius. You're very creative. Aquarius people are very creative and innovative. They're the ones that'll come up with a new creative idea. And in order to be able to express those, it's helpful to have this Queen of Swords kind of energy and power, so that you can communicate those things effectively to others. So lucky you've got that down there in your tool shed, Aquarius. So right now this week, coming out of your immediate past is a Three of Wands. And a Three of Wands is the card of, sometimes it's a card of travel, recent travel. Threes are always change, a shift. There's a shift starting to happen. Wands are also associated with work, and also it's a fire sign. So doing things, taking actions to to bring about something new. He's looking out, he's gazing, he's leaning on the one wand. He's got these wands kind of like he's planted these wands. They're starting to grow, this just the sprouts of something new, some new change that we're starting to step into and take on in your life in terms of maybe your home situation, maybe where you're living, maybe you're considering a move to a new location, or maybe you're considering in your recent past some new venture, some new passions. Maybe it's a new hobby, something like that has come into your life recently in the past. Now, crowning you is a Seven of Swords card. So Seven of Swords is look out, the seven's about, he's absconding, he's stealing 5 of the 7 swords. He's come in, he's got the swords, and he's sneaking off with them. So it's often a card to beware of people taking advantage of you, trying to put one over on you, and to be careful. It's also a 7, so it's associated with the 7th major arcana, which is our Chariot, which is all about taking the reins and taking control of things, and by balancing things out and charging forward. Because this is showing up for you, Aquarius, in your crowning area here, in your ideal, the 7 of Swords, I think what this is telling you is that you need to be very mindful as you are working and looking at these finances and things, and you bring this Queen of Swords energy to situations, new ventures and ideas that you're entering into, but you have to be mindful of this 7 of Swords. So I think it's crowning you because that is something that you need to keep in the top of your mind, and in the forefront of your mind is to be careful around, and especially how you communicate. Choose your words wisely this week. Really choose your words wisely, and keep an eye out for that, and then you're moving into a 6 of Swords in the near future. This week you'll start to move into a 6 of Swords situation where you feel like you've been through some of this with the 7 of Swords maybe, but now you're getting through it and you're getting across to the other side with the help of others. You've got people with you. You've got this ferryman, you got the child that's riding along with her. You've got all the swords that you're carrying that with you, but you're being ferried across to safety and to the other side where things are going to start to grow and come to fruition for you. This week in your environment, Aquarius, you are feeling like the Hierophant, the 5th major arcana. And you also have in your hopes, in the final outcome, the number 5, the 5 of Cups. So that's interesting. You're feeling like with the Hierophant. Hierophant has to do with all of our social affiliations, whether it's your church group, your PTA group, your Lions Club. It represents social structures and rules that apply to the group, things for the benefit of the collective. That's what the Hierophant is. Now, 5s are always a card of being a little bit off balance because this is really tricky. You have to, when you get into groups like this, you have all kinds of people and personalities, and how you communicate with each other is extra important. So this can be difficult for some people because you do have to balance that out. You do have to be a mindful Queen of Swords type communicator when you're in these situations that you're going to be feeling yourself in as the Hierophant, kind of taking these groups into consideration and their importance and how important they are to you and valuable to you. You're going to be feeling that these are very important aspects in your life right now, Aquarius, during this upcoming week. And in that environment this week, you're going to have some justice. You've got a Justice card. It's another major arcana coming out for you here, which is kind of just like it sounds, I think, the Justice card. And there's a lot of action involved in this Justice card happening. It's a lot of red. The color red in the tarot represents action. So it's justice in action. It's things being brought to justice. It's a coming to, well, not judgment, that's the judgment card, but it's a balancing out of things. It's a making things fair. It's going to be happening this week in the environment. Your hopes and fears, and I believe it's hopes, is Queen of Pentacles. So I think this is you. And just because it's a queen doesn't mean it can't apply to somebody who identifies as male, because the tarot is genderless. So this means Queen of Pentacles energy. And that's in your hope section, because you are the Queen of Swords. You've got this effective communication. You're really good at that. That's a strength of yours. And you're going into these social situations where you have to have that. It's going to really help you in balancing these things out and dealing with this Eight of Pentacles, where you're trying to master your craft and really start gleaning, you know, more of a profit from what you do. And your hope is to become the Queen of Pentacles. So like the other queen, she's very loving, very nurturing, very empowered. She's, you know, she takes care of others in this regard, but she's also very much in charge of her finances and in control of that, and has charge of that. So that's in your hopes category. Now, your final outcome card is also a 5 here, which is interesting since you're feeling the 5, you're feeling the Hierophant. You're also in this final outcome. This is a card of crying over spilt milk. I always call it the card of crying over spilt milk. It's a card of viewing your cup as half empty rather than half full. The guy in the card is standing here and he's weeping over the 3 spilt cups, but behind him are 2 full cups. So if he would just turn around, he would say, I still got 2 full cups I can work with. And you need to do that. And this is going to be the final outcome, is coming across this feeling of maybe focusing on your loss instead of the stuff that you have going forward. So I think it's really important when you come up against this in your final outcome that you remember to turn around, and look at your glass as half full. That's what's going to help you move forward this week with that main focus of yours right now, with budgeting and making big purchases, rethinking how you earn and how you save your money. You need to make sure that you're looking at what you've got and then investing it wisely. And so that's what our spread is giving us, Aquarius, this week for you. I don't know if this is ringing true to you. I hope this message has found those that it needs to go to. I'm curious what our clarification card might be. Considering what you're having, I wouldn't be at all surprised if it's a Pentacle card advising us about career and finances some more, or further advice on how to deal with this. It could be clarification of this 7 of Swords up here, having to be mindful of people who are maybe trying to take advantage. So I'm not sure. If you think you know, put a guess down in the comment section right now if you think you know what this card is. So let's take a look, Aquarius. Oh, a King of Swords. So we've got a King of Swords. You are the Queen of Swords. You're headed into the 6 of Swords, getting across. And your hopes is like to watch out for these sneak thieves with the 7 of Swords. But I think this is confirmation that you're not just the Queen, but also King of Swords, which is ultimate power and control over communication and thoughts and ideas. So just stick with it. The 7 of Swords is not going to be a problem for you to do. You are in command of this. You've already got that Queen of Swords energy going for you. So yeah, make sure to have gratitude. Make sure to remember to take time to meditate and have gratitude. If you're starting to feel like, oh my gosh, you know, weeping over some of your losses, be sure to do that. And that would be my advice to you, Aquarius, this week. I'm curious to find out how your week went. And then I would love to see you back next Wednesday for your next week's reading. So do be sure, hit that subscribe button down there right now so that it's free, doesn't cost anything. And then it'll pop up on your YouTube feed next week as soon as your tarot reading drops. And I'm going to be linking right here a couple of videos. So this short little video right up here is going to be a brief explanation of tarot as I see it. And I hope you'll take a minute and check that out. And thank you for visiting my channel, Tarot with Kat. And I hope to see you soon. Have a blessed week, Aquarius.